What's up, everybody? All right, so we've been talking politics lately, but I promise you that I'll still talk stocks, and I will, right? I'm keeping up on that promise because I want to talk about a stock that's trading at 4 cents that a lot of you know, and you've been asking me, hey, when are you going to talk about it? It's time to talk about it because I just bought another 1,000 shares today. So full disclosure, I am in this stock. I am holding this stock long term, and I am still super bullish on this stock, and I'll tell you when I think it's going to start to go up in price. So without further ado, megaphone out. This is not financial advice. Let's get into this. All right. So what are we talking about? ILS. Okay. So ILS had a big 16% run, 17 or 18% run yesterday. Depending on how soon I get this video edited, you may be seeing this on Friday or Saturday. I still love this company. And when I compare ILS to a company like BBIG, right, they both have actually come down similar amounts, realistically, from their highs to where they are now. They're actually both from their high to where they are now, they're actually both down about the same amount. But the difference with ILS is I trust these guys. They continually, regularly update shareholders. They don't miss meetings, and they're fixing, they're fixing the company and in an open and transparent way that I like, right? So a lot of people are upset with the price of ILS, right? It's down to 4 cents, right? This was up at 50 cents. I started investing in ILS when it was 4 cents, and I only put like $100 in at the time. And then when it hit 9 cents, I put a whole bunch more in, and then it went to 50 cents. In hindsight, I probably should have sold and then rebought back in now, right? But hindsight's 2020. I knew I was holding this thing long term, right? So now that it was back, it hit 3 cents. I bought at 0.0398. I actually, so it was very cheap to get 1,000 shares. So I continually add here and there when I can to this stock, and this is interesting here. So ILS this is just recently, ILS provides an update on its industrial and emergency response subsidiary. So they're about to have their spinoff, QIND. It's part of ILS. That's looking like it's going to go to the NASDAQ first. A lot of people are saying, jump on the stock. It's holding pretty well in the 50-cent range. Remember, it's got to be, $1 to be on the NASDAQ, if I'm not mistaken, or I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that. But, you're looking at a double up right there on that stock. But remember, that's part of ILS, right? So we know ILS is a merger and acquisition company focused on acquiring and growing companies in the public safety, industrial, defense, and renewable sectors. Now, for those of you who don't know that, this company's got its hands on a lot of things. Having previously announced that its industrial subsidiary, QIND, had appointed Exchange Listing, LLC, as capital marketing advisor for its New York Stock Exchange American listing. That's exciting. The company confirms that it has been making strong progress towards listing in the late summer of 2023. That's huge news, guys. That stock's at 50 cents. I do own 200 shares of QIND, full disclosure of that. Not many, but I do want to buy more of that. A lot of people are like, oh, why didn't I just buy QIND? I think it's all going to, I think the plan of this company is going to come to fruition in a bunch of years, and I'm going to explain when I think that ILS stock price is going to start to go up. So with the listing process of QIND underway, ILS is now preparing its emergency response subsidiary, ERT, for its own uplisting following its large acquisition currently in negotiation. So remember, this is all on ILS's books. This company is constantly on the move and working and, constantly updating us, unlike companies like BBIG who, those crooks, man. Anyway, working closely with the exchange listing team, the ILS and QIND management teams have made exceptional progress towards finalizing QIND's New York Stock Exchange American listing application. That's exciting stuff, man. Given that the process for QIND is running smoothly, ILS is now focusing on ramping up ERT's progress with the objective of uplisting ERT to a major stock exchange along an agreed route at the end of 2023 or 2024. And this is going to come into when I think this stock's going to really start to go crazy. In my opinion, not financial advice. ILS is implementing several strategic measures to ensure that ERT can confidently uplist to a major stock exchange along the route agreed with the exchange listing team. These measures include, but are not limited to, 1. Completing the large U.S. vehicle manufacturing acquisition, which is in negotiation right now. merging the two current ERT companies in the U.S. under ERT North America, with the large U.S. acquisition to be added under its umbrella, all led by ERT CEO Dan Peters. Merging the 4 ERT companies in the Middle East under ERT Middle East, managed by newly appointed General Manager Dan Peters. Consolidating all manufacturing outside the U.S. for all products and vehicles from the U.K. and Dubai to Serbia. These guys, there's so much going on all over the world. It's amazing. This is like a global conglomerate this company is going to be, in my opinion, in the next decade. Remember, this one I really believe in, but remember, it takes time. This is a lot going on. It's going to take time. Anyway, the transition is currently underway. Merging the European manufacturing and European acquisition currently in negotiation under ERT Europe umbrella. The measures taken will streamline ERT's operations and significantly improve ERT's financials while reducing operation costs by 25%. That's sick. Now the QIND's progress toward the New York Stock Exchange American has gained momentum of its own. We're aggressively rolling out our ERT strategy in line with its own planned route to a major stock exchange. So they'll have 2 subsidiaries on a major stock exchange. And of course, guys, we want to see ILUS on the NASDAQ. Also, or the New York Stock Exchange, right? The New York Stock Exchange. We want to see that, so I'm patiently waiting for that. We're going to get into my opinion on that in a minute. Our strategy for uplisting ERT is unique, and we believe it can be delivered with an impressive time frame after QIND uplist, with QIND also serving as the springboard for ERT, which makes sense. And the more they do this, the better they're going to get at this, right? We believe that each subsidiary uplisting should bring significant value to ILUS shareholders, as ILUS remains the parent company reaping the rewards of all subsidiary growth and success. That's the key. We believe it's important to keep our shareholders updated on our process and strategy as we continually assess, align, and pivot if needed based on macroeconomic and geopolitical factors. Working with the exchange listing team, we are now more capable and confident to deliver our clear strategy for the uplisting of both QIND and ERT, with other subsidiaries to follow. This is crazy. It's really exciting stuff. But it is just as important that we streamline and simplify our operations to reduce operating costs and position ourselves to win larger contracts, such as the large ERT and Hyperion defense contracts we are currently bringing for the Middle East and Europe, commented ILUS CEO, the man, Nicholas Link. ILUS looks forward to providing further updates this week, including announcement on the first contract signed by its defense subsidiary, Hyperion Defense Solutions, followed by a video podcast with Nick and JP Backwell. Now, they actually put that up here, if I'm not mistaken. We did get that. Yes, ILUS defense subsidiary, Hyperion Defense Solutions, signs exclusive global distribution agreement for revolutionary IED detection. Now, this is really interesting because it's, this is a problem in the world, right? IEDs, it says here, are responsible for approximately 50% of total military deaths. Think about that. Half of all military deaths continue to be a major cause of civilian deaths, also in conflict zones. In Afghanistan alone, IEDs caused 77% of civilian casualties, 294 incidents in 2021, and 85% of civilian casualties across 68 incidents in 2022. It's horrible, man, right? Hundreds of IED attacks occur globally every month, making a global issue, which has resulted in increasingly high demand for more effective counter. And that's what, I'm not going to read this whole article here, but that's what Hyperion is going into. You take the time to read that one. They got a lot going on. It's incredible, from what was just like a firefighting company right in the beginning, like to what they're into now. Global conglomerate is amazing. I could see 3 uplists to the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange, within the next 2 years. Personally, that's my opinion. I think that they can get that done. Now, when do I see ILUS stock price going up, right? That's the big one everybody wants to know, and me too, right? But I'm actually loving it down here. I'm going to be honest, because money's been tight. We were all getting hit by this inflation hard, right? So it's harder for me to invest what I would like to invest. It's really hard, right? But with the stock price where it is, I'm able to get just as many shares, investing $50 as I was investing 500. It's crazy, and it's pretty exciting. I can get 1,000 shares for, what was it, $30-$40? If yeah, right? So I love that. I love that right now. So I'm actually, believe it or not, like everybody's, when's it going to go up? I'm actually, stay down here as long as I can. Let me get more, because I know this is a long term. This is like at least 5, but realistically 10 years from now that I want to see this come to fruition for me. So when do I see the stock price going up, though? Here's the key. Stocks like this are risky. New companies, right? So we're going to need 2 things to happen. Number 1, the overall market conditions have to change for this stock to go up. That's just the way it is. And I believe we're going to start to see that when the interest rates pause and start to be cut. Now, I foresee that happening late summer into fall and winter. That's going to be an exciting time. I think the market actually hasn't dropped as far as I thought it was, because people are already anticipating that in the global market, the SPY I'm talking about here, because they're already people are trying to beat it, right? Get in before the cuts start to happen. Barring some crazy thing happens, God forbid war in Taiwan or something really bad happening, I can start to see the market start to rebound. And when they start to cut rates, small caps and micro cap stocks, in my opinion, that have been really neglected by big investors and small alike, are going to start to see a resurgence. If at the same time that they start cutting interest rates and money that's just held on the sidelines start to flow in my opinion, again, not financial advice, that's the 3rd or 4th time I've said it, so I don't want to hear anybody whining in the comment section, all right? Do your own research. If they start to happen at the same time, the cutting of the interest rates with the profitability started to be showed, or the revenue and the increases and the plans starting to take shape for ILS, and hopefully eventually ILS uplisting, I can see some really exciting things happening for the whole ILS umbrella. I am trying to buy some QIND shares next. I do have some, but so I'm, I don't just have ILS, but right now 99% of this umbrella for me is ILS. And I could easily see us getting back to all-time highs, especially the more aggressive interest rates start to cut happens, because I think we're already in this recession. They say it's not a recession, but I think we're already in it. When that environment hits and the cutting of rates happen and the money in the sidelines flows back into the OTC market and all markets, we're going to see certain stocks that have been dormant for a long time have big runs. Now, it's up to you how you want to play it. I'd actually rather see the stock just slowly grow over time. I don't actually want to see a huge pump and then a dumping. I want to see this grow over time. And so we'll see how that works out. We'll see how they do, how they execute, and what their future news comes out. But for those of you who are curious, somebody asked me the other day, you still in ILS? Hell yeah, I'm in ILS. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm just slowly, with small purchases, accumulating more every chance I get. And it's not financial advice. You do your own research. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps me a lot for all this work. I'll catch you on the next one.